all here and then to talk about some of the things that we can all look at and see how we can begin to share knowledge, like I rightly mentioned in my advert. Basically, my name is again Chief Andy Elerewe. I am the MD CEO IBEN Group of Companies. And we are into real estate, we are into agro-allied services, media. It's a conglomerate actually. And but majorly our forte is property. We build estates, and of course we're also into commercial real estate, that's hotels, and of course mall. We're in Abuja, we're in Lagos, and so far we've been able to do about 15 estates. And at the moment, we are unveiling our 3 hotels this year, Actually, 4 and 5-star hotel before the year runs out. And then, by the way, we're going to be 10 years this year. IBEN is going to be 10 years this year. So, and then that's part of the reason why I decided to do this. I felt like it's one of the ways to also give back. Let's interact. Let's talk about how far we have gone, and then why we are here. How did it just happen? How did I get myself to where we are currently today? It's been a whole lot. I have to be honest with you. It's been a whole lot, but I thank God that we are where we are today, and I want to believe that you can also share a few things from what we have been able to pass through over the years. Don't worry, I'm going to be unveiling all the secrets, how we started from ground zero to where we currently are. All of those things are what will make up my series. So you will know that most of those things you are thinking that is not possible, it's all possible. It's just all about who you are or what you want to be, what you want, you can always achieve it. Okay, so being the first edition, I would like to also stress the fact that I am aware, or rather I'm not unaware, that we are going through things in Nigeria. It's a common saying that everywhere is it's not easy with businessmen. Many businesses are facing a whole lot of challenges. Even upstart businesses are not finding it easy. I know about all of that. And I also do know that we have situations with power. Power has not been helping. We don't have light in Nigeria, so it's been a big issue. And of course, we also have inflation. We have the commercial banks not being able to give loans for upstarts, for those who are looking at enhancing their business or even starting business. So it's really a bit difficult, to be honest. I'm aware of all of that. I know how difficult it can be. There's no infrastructure. So to support your business, it's not easy, to really start business. But in all of this, you can continue to mention those problems from here. You highlight them. You can enumerate all those problems. But I want to assure you that in the midst of some of these problems, there are huge opportunities. And that's part of what we'll be talking about today. You cannot continue to complain. Rather, you have to look deep and then sever some of the opportunities you can see beyond the challenges you are facing at the moment. There's this Chinese saying that, look, behind or in the midst of challenges, that is where you find light. That is where you can prosper. In the midst of all of these challenges that Nigeria is facing right now, you can single out yourself and then find something doing and still be able to raise your head and shoulder high. So that's part of what we'll be talking about today. It's going to be an interactive session. I want you all to relax and then let's just look at things. Let's look at things, in a very relaxing way. For all those, the whole idea about this is to target people who wants to start up business, who wants to go into real estate or agro-allied services or media or tech, whatever you want to do, this forum is for you. Or if you have already started and then you want to expand your business, This forum is also for you. We'll be talking a lot about that. But being the first edition, I would rather want us to start with ourselves. I want us to talk about ourselves, because there are some qualities that you need to have for you to be able to achieve your goal. There are some certain qualities. You can't just pop up from nowhere and then you want to grow your business. You first of all have to discover yourself. It's important, it's very important that you, as a person who wants to lead a business, you need to talk to yourself. You need to ask yourself some very important questions about what exactly do you want from life. What are your goals? What exactly do you want to? How do you want to spend your life? How do you want to spend the rest of your life? You are not going to be here forever. You're just going to be here for a short time. How do you intend to spend your life? Do you want to serve people? Those are very pertinent questions. Do you want to serve someone and then you continue to work for the person and work and then probably retired at some point and then go sit in your village? Or perhaps you want to try some new things and then be a master of yourself, be dogged, be courageous, be resolute, and then be determined about what exactly you want. Do you want to be like the superstars you watch on TV? Because, and then wait a minute, I need to tell you something, I must say this, there's nobody that is special. It's important for me to just bring in these parts of the discussion before we move ahead again. There is nobody, apart from even talent, those who have talent, you can actually develop talent on your own. You can acquire skills. If you're not a talented footballer by nature, you can learn how to play football. There are so many opportunities for anybody to be whatever they want to be. So it's important for you first to ask yourself some pertinent questions about who you want to be. What do you exactly want to be? These are very serious questions. And I'll tell you a short story. When I was starting way back, or rather when I left school, university back then in Ife, I graduated in 2001, and then I had options of course, Africa Star Service, and then I came back in Lagos then in 2003. I had an option of, going to look for work, find a white collar job, and then I stay unemployed, and then earn salary like people were doing. Even though it wasn't easy then, because I know I attempted some, interviews which didn't come through, apparently because, the jobs were very few, and then we had a lot of people chasing the job. I could remember very well, there was one UBA job I went for, an interview really, or a test or something, in Lagos. And then we were over 5,000 of us. I think they barely took about 5 or so. You can imagine the ratio. So it was at that point I asked myself some very serious questions. What's all this? Is this exactly what I want? Do I need to start chasing jobs? Why can't I build something on my own? And I tell you, I didn't have money, but I had this very strong will. There was just something about me, very strong. And I kept looking at those. It wasn't going to be easy because a lot of my colleagues then were working. They were in the in the banking sector. They had jobs then, but I didn't have a job, but I had a very strong mentality. I kept looking at myself as a winner, someone who wants to grow and then become very big, probably as big as the bank, So I wasn't satisfied with the, with just those employments, and then you get to start work, and then you earn salaries. It wasn't really what I wanted. So back to what I was saying, you yourself need to ask yourself some very serious questions, because it's not going to be easy. If you take those decisions and say, look, okay, you need to build that inner courage, that tenacity, that resilience of, look, this is what I want to be. And then you now pause and then look inward and try to re-examine yourself. Just put something down if you're listening to me. So you just have to, you can hear me, right? I guess? All right, fine. So the thing is, you look inward and then try to write a few things about what you think you are good at. The thing is, you ask yourself, what exactly do I want from life? And then what can I do with myself? What am I actually good at? Or what do I think, what do I have passion for? So those are very, very definitive questions that you need to ask yourself. And then, because you need to build that passion, you need to discover that talent and then build the passion. Once you build the passion, you have to now stay focused on it. The problem I have with many youths, is that people don't have that resilience. They don't have what it takes to be focused. They are always just too quick to jump out of anything, and then they don't have that resilience to face challenges that will naturally come with young businesses. So these are the things that once you have been able to identify that and then build that courage, the next step is for you to get started. So basically, being the first edition, I thought it was proper for us to, first of all, talk to our inner person. Let's look at how some of the qualities that set aside people who have been able to do something good for themselves. What are the qualities? What are the things that they have that is going for them? They have this strong will, this strong drive. You must have all of that. So once you've been able to decide on that, the next thing, like I said, is for you to and then trust me, you have to look beyond the challenges. There will be challenges. There are challenges. There have always been challenges. There have always been challenges right from when Nigeria became independent. We've always had challenges. We'll definitely continue to have challenges. But a lot of people are prosper in that challenges. That is where you should focus your eye. Focus yourself on some of the things that can stand you out as a person. Always stand out from the crowd. It's very important. Always find a way to stand out. And then, so when you must have acquired some of these qualities, that we're talking about, the quality of resilience, the quality of courage, self-determination, building yourself beyond, and then identifying a skill, or rather something that you are passionate about. There's so many of them. I don't want to restrict ourselves to real estate because I'm doing real estate. And by the way, I also do other things. It's not just real estate. I'm into project, I'm into media, I'm into consultancy, I'm into agro-allied services. I'm also into entertainment, I'm into recreation. So there are a whole lot that you can look at. Nigeria of today, I always tell people, yes, we are going through a lot. There is no doubt. There is no need to overflow that. But one beautiful thing is that in the midst of what we are going through, there is abundance opportunity that you can tap from. So much. The opportunities are just there are a lot of sectors we haven't even started. We haven't even done anything. The mining industry is there. We have not done anything. The tech industry, we're just like a baby trying to crawl. There's so much going on. AI, so many. If you go to other clients, there are a lot of innovations, ingenuity, so many things that is happening within the tech industry that we have not even started employing or exploring. And even real estate, we are just barely scratching the surface. We haven't even started. So the opportunities are enormous across all sectors. Even the style industry, the entertainment industry, you can see. Okay, I'll tell you something. Let's look at those who, and then you see how things are evolving. At some point in time, those who chose entertainment as a career, could even barely summon the courage to publicly declare themselves as artists or actors. But today, they are probably the highest earners. Footballers are the one earning the most money and all that. So there is no trade. There is no trade. There is nothing that you are doing that you cannot succeed at. It just depends on you. There's absolutely nothing that you are doing that you cannot succeed at. So by and large, the whole idea about this first series is for you, like I said, to have this self discovery. It's for you to discover yourself. It's very important. And then for you to quit the entitlement mentality. That's another problem we have. In Nigeria, so many people feel that, look, they just lost it even from the beginning. They already failed even before even attempting to start. So they feel that, look, once their uncle can't help them, or your father or your parents are not born with a silver spoon, or you're not born with a silver spoon, and then you feel you're not from a rich family, and then you just lose this. You don't have this sense of belonging anymore. You kind of lose hope somehow. So that's an entitlement mentality. For me, I usually in several forums that I've told my story, I've always told people that, look, nobody can make you better than you can make yourself. Like me, there is absolutely nothing you are going to tell me about facing hardship. I face worst hardship anybody can think of. I've actually faced worse hardship than anybody can think of. Back then in Lagos, when we were out of school and then we're trying to, get something doing. It was basically hustle. We call it hustle then. We had to do everything and anything that is possible as long as it's legit. We sell from, I can't remember. I think I can barely remember those things that I didn't have to sell to try to make it, So I've sold pure water, I think in the street of Lagos, yes. I've done, I've sold food. My mom was selling food then. I've sold corn. There's basically nothing. So it was that low. It was that low. So I wasn't born with a silver spoon. My dad is not rich. So the opportunities were also not there. But I couldn't allow that to deter me. I didn't allow that to deter me. So that's why I was saying that it's all about you being focused, determining yourself what you want to do, what you want to get out of life, and then be focused on it. When you are focused on it, in the series, and as we progress in this series, I'm going to be unveiling a lot of secrets. So many things that you can do, that will earn you a very good living. And then, by the way, it's not just going to be about just this conversation. We are going a step further by ensuring that we select people who have constructive ideas. We are open to receiving ideas. If you have constructive ideas, all we need is just send it to our. You drop a link. There's a link that is going to come up later, and then you send your proposal to that link. I can assure you that I am personally going to look at it. I will personally look at that proposal. Once I find your proposal interesting and workable, that's the word, a lot of proposals are already dead on arrival. So many of them are dead on arrival. You look at your environment and then you are doing something that is totally out of our culture, or you want to set yourself against an unnecessary competition with big brands that are already established, or you have an idea that is not even workable at all, maybe because of our culture, maybe because of so many things. So those are the things. We will look at those things once we find your idea constructive. And it doesn't matter whether you've been in the business. Even if you have been in the business and you hope you want to expand, just send us a constructive proposal. I assure you, I'm going to personally look at it. And then once those proposals are okay, we'll pick 3 of them. We will go into business together. It's just that's what we're planning to do. At the end of the day, we'll ensure that we run this business together and this business will succeed. So the idea is that as we do this every quarterly, we'll be picking businesses that we can support, businesses that we can look at and then support, and then see how the businesses will grow over time. So back to what I was saying, basically, I think I've talked about self-determination and, self-discovery, really. Discovering yourself, discovering your purpose in life, discovering your passion and what you want to do is very important. Why am I here in this world? What do I want to do? What would I want to be remembered for? This is not about being religious now. Just for once, focus on the reality. You put a lot of things by the side. Everybody prays to God. You keep praying. You will have to pray to God. It's very important. But what is also very important is that you need to discover yourself. When you have discovered yourself and then you now finally take out the major area you want to establish yourself in. It can be anything. It can be anything. It could be fashion, it could even be hairstyling. There is nothing that you want to do. It's just you, first of all, having passion in that thing. Have passion for it. If it's real estate too, it's good. And then, yes, money is important. Capital is important for every business. But I think for me, from my own experience, what is important is your passion. Yes, I tell you, what is important is your self-discovery and your passion. Even real estate, I've told someone, you don't need capital. And then as long as we go on in this series, I'm going to be telling you guys how you can do real estate with a zero kobo. You don't need real estate as bogus as it could be. I am one of the successful real estate in Nigeria, and I can tell you today that you don't actually need a zero kobo to do real estate. But that will come in our next series. I'm going to be unveiling some of those secrets, how you can actually do real estate without money, and then how you can become successful within a year. So we are 10 years, and then we do two projects every year. Currently, we have done 20 projects. We do 2 projects per year, and then we are building one of the biggest hotel and then malls currently in Abuja. But I tell you, all of these things you can achieve after you must have a passion for something. So the whole lesson about this first series is self-discovery. And then your purpose about life. It's very important. It's very important for you to be resolute. And then of course, just like any other thing in life, like when you were in school, when you want to do anything, of course, everybody knows that it's important for us to be hardworking. Hardworking, it's something you can't negotiate. You have to work very hard for you to achieve any good results. You need to work very hard. Work tirelessly for it. You don't, like I said earlier, in the intro, part of the problem I have with many youths is that they are too quick to conclude on a process. There are some businesses that are late to pick up. You just have to give them a year or two, because there are gestation period for every business. It might not pick up almost immediately, but you are building some level of network for yourself. And then before you could say Jack Robinson, you'll be shocked. That opportunity is going to come. I haven't seen anyone who is on a path that is doing something and then is good at what he's doing. He has learned the skill. He has been able to perfect, his know-how in that skill, and he or she is focused in it. He remains resolute over time, and then he doesn't succeed. I'm yet to see that. You could be. There are some businesses that could take 2 years. You need to struggle for 3 years. You need to struggle for. But what is important is creating a niche for yourself. Okay, so I must also mention, because I'm sure many of you will be wondering, how do you choose a party? After you must have discovered yourself, and then you must have determined that, okay, this is what I want to do. I don't want to work for anyone. I want to work for myself. Or, okay, I'm going to work for a while so I can learn, I can acquire skill, I can have network, I can have contacts, and then following which I would, be on my own and all that. Yes, a lot of you may, of course, be wondering now that what is... So just whatever I want you guys to drop something on the comments. Let me, something like a feedback. Let me see areas that you think that you are struggling, or you probably think you need more clarification. Please, just say something on the comments. You can ask questions. Yeah, I can see you, but I need you to ask questions. And then let's see areas that we can also focus on. Okay. All right. So the good news is that I've decided to do this every month. This is just the first of the several series that are yet to come. Next month we'll be talking essentially about. We'll take a particular sector and then we'll dissect it, we'll look at it deeply, and then try to enumerate the challenges, and then some of the ways you can, go around the challenges that you think you may have, like the issue of raising money, how to raise money, how to do all of those things. We'll just go through all that and then see how we can all succeed at the end of, because the end, they say, justify the means. What matter is for you to learn, for you to remain in a trade and then continue on that path, continue to build a brand, transform into a successful project. Money will not come. So if you don't solve problem, you can't get money. If you have project, you can't, then of course you're sure of making money. So there's no two ways about it. The reality is that we all must learn and must be ready to commit ourselves to a particular project, or rather a particular skill, and then build on it, and then stay on it, and then walk through it. So those are the take home, for this series. I am just talking basically about how you can discover yourself, how it's important.
Questions here and here.
Any questions?
Yeah, here too.
Oh, okay. Okay, so where are the questions?
Okay, so this one said, what are your core values?
Okay. All right. So now somebody's just asking me, what are my core values? I'm going to answer you very directly. For me, my value is about integrity. And then people don't understand how deep integrity is in business. Earlier in the video, I told you, today I don't need capital to run my business again. There's virtually no business I want to do. I don't need capital. I don't have to go to bank. I don't have to break my head about any project. And even if I want to do $1 billion project, it's as easy, it's as good as that. You know why? Because over the years, I've been able to build integrity. Once you build integrity, people can join, and then you build integrity, and then you succeed in what you are doing. People will join you in your business. You can raise private equity funding very easily. In the past, we have been able to raise equity for our project seamlessly, and then we are still on it. We want to build the tallest building in Abuja. We're unveiling it in September, and part of the idea too is to raise private equity funding. I'm just giving you an expo now. We will be doing the tallest building. So those are very daring projects that we're also looking at to do. But trust me, the core value, just to answer your question directly, is integrity, honesty in your business. It's very important that you are honest. It's being honest is when you For those who know IBEN, for those who know me, they can just easily tell you that honesty is what I stand for. Sometimes you could lose, yeah, just to be honest. Because when you make promises and then at the end of the day, you know, it becomes circumstantial, things didn't work out, or there are some very serious things that happen that will make you not be able to achieve or to be able to, you know, go through with those promises, and then it seems like you want to renege on your promise. No, you just have to, because your word should be your bound. You've set, you know, you've agreed with your client that it has to be this, it has to be that. You must stay on it. I mean, it's the clients that you have today can be your partner tomorrow. That's what people don't know. And then when you are interacting with your client, he needs to see that transparency in you. At the end of the day, your clients that you have today can be your partner tomorrow. So it's important for you to be honest. Honesty is the key word. For me, the value is honesty and integrity. Every other thing comes later. Be honest with your staff. It's not just because your staff, you know, is your first line of defense. Very important. Your character matters even at home. Your character matters in the public. Your character matters on the project itself. How you relate with your staff. IBEN has never held salary in the last 10 years. Not even for 1 month. I mean, that's part of what we are talking about. It's not something that is easy, but it is something that we've seen it as an obligation, not like anything. Once the obligation is that you have to pay your salaries, you know, because these guys, your staff, are your first foot soldiers. These are the people who will say good or bad about you because they know you better than any other person. So it's important for you to have that integrity. Those are the core values for me. The core value is for you to have integrity, is for you to have honesty. And then every other thing comes after. So I want to implore you to please stay tuned. I want us all to share ideas, like I said. I want us all to share ideas. This is just the first of so many series to come. Next month, we will be talking about how you can start your business with a 0 naira, a 0 capital. Because for many of you, I'm sure your complaints now is that, okay, the bank is not going to give you money, your friend is not going to give you money, government is not helping in any way, how do you source for funds, how do you, those are majorly the complaint. How do you even start? You don't have money, you don't have this. I didn't have money. That's the point. I had a 0 naira, but here I am today. So if there's anybody who can tell you about the workability of a process that can start by not having money into a process that has germinated solidly with a base of almost about 100 billion, I can tell you that from just 0 to grace. So next week, I will be unveiling some of those secrets that you can use to get what you want, even in spite of the economic hardship, even in spite of the gross, overwhelming realities, doom realities that we have in the country. You still can make a headway if you truly want to. So it's just all about the choices you make, the choices and decisions you make. And then these are the decisions we'll be talking about. So don't forget, you need to drop your idea. If you have an idea, if you have a brand you are pushing, and then you want us to come and then look at it together, drop it on the link. You might just be the next person. We've been helping a lot of people in the past who today have become billionaires, even within the real estate. And then, but we're spreading our link out there. But this is not all about this is not just it's not like a giveaway really, but it is a commitment that we have decided to do, to go into partnership with people who have constructive ideas. Constructive ideas, we will partner with you, we'll ensure that we go with you on the project, and then we both succeed together, and then we both make money. So Drop that idea there. You might just be the next lucky guy. You never can tell, you know. So basically, we'll be wrapping up now. But of course, the link is still going to be there. You can always send me messages, questions, clarifications, whatever you think you need, you know, in terms of anything in your business. Just let's talk. We can look at. I love you all. I hope to see you guys. This is just the beginning. The next one will be more practical. I thought this was something we just needed to just familiarize ourselves with this whole idea. By next week, or rather next month, we will be going into the practical part of it, where we will talk essentially on how we can now do serious business without capital. And then I hope you must have learned one or two things. I appreciate you guys, your time, joining me on this edition of Discovering Yourself. And I hope to see you next month. Take care. Peace. Bye-bye.